G'day, I'm Jeremy, this is my channel, and this is a bit of an update today as to where things are at. As I've said in some previous videos, I'm not trying to be a YouTuber, I'm just a guitarist, singer-songwriter who occasionally uses YouTube as hopefully a useful vehicle for promoting, for want of a better word, my music and musical activities. So, since my last video, a few things have been happening. I've got a tour planned, 7 dates, beginning on the 12th of July, finishing on the 23rd of July. I made essentially my radio debut today, which was really cool. Thank you very much to Matt Mottram, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, of the Mockers Rockers Hour on Wild Dogs Radio. That was at 11 o'clock today. That was really cool. The show, I believe, replays at 5 o'clock New Zealand time this coming Thursday. Yes, I think it's 11 o'clock on Sundays and the same show as again on the Thursday. So that was really cool. And Matt gave me a very nice little plug for the album, so thank you very much, Matt. Yeah, it's a cool show, basically just back-to-back Kiwi rock and metal. It was very cool. Mostly bands I never heard of. Devilskin were in there. They're very cool. But yeah, there were some other bands which I'd never heard of. One called Spearhead, who I thought were very cool. Yeah, so that was very nice. What else? I have merchandise. Oh, yes. I was about to do that in the wrong order. I have merchandise. So, if you're watching this, as you probably know, about a month or so ago, I released my record, Shadows in the Shade. I say released, I mean I put it on Spotify, Apple Music, etc., etc. I'm not a big fan of the streaming services, but not everybody has a CD player, and some of the people who enjoy my music are overseas, and I'm not in a position to ship CDs to them. So that was done. But this past Thursday, the first, what I hope will only be the first run of CD copies was pressed, and my understanding is that it's on its way and will hopefully arrive in the next couple of days. So that will be very cool. Part 2 of merch is, so here's a little story. And I'm quite excited about this. I didn't see it coming. So, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I think, I got in touch with a company who are based in Hamilton in the North Island. They're called Twisted Thread. I buy all of my band t-shirts through them, including, for example, this one. They're super cool, really quick shipping. It's all officially licensed band merch. And so I got in touch with them and said, hey, look, you know, in addition to buying a lot of your t-shirts, I also play music, I've got a record, I'm doing a tour, and I would love to be able to do t-shirts on demand. The idea being that I could point, you know, if somebody came to my show and really liked it or wanted to buy a t-shirt, rather than me having, you know, boxes of t-shirts, many of which I might not sell, and so I come home with a whole lot of smalls of what am I going to do? Give them to my dog for bedding. Instead, I can point them to Twisted Thread and say, go to this website, and then you can order it in your size, and it'll be delivered very promptly. And, well, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So I got in touch with Twisted Thread, and I said, hey, look, I know you guys don't do this printing on demand thing, but you're in the industry, and maybe you know someone who does. And they wrote back to me and said, oh, look, we're really excited. We've been thinking about doing this for a long time. Can you give us a couple of weeks to, you know, sort of put all the the pieces in a row? And I went, oh, okay, that would be fantastic. I didn't really know what it would look like. But they got back to me a couple of weeks ago, and as of last Sunday evening, it's live. There will be a link in the description. I've got 2 t-shirts for sale. And yeah, I was like, wow, that's so cool. Now, in the big scheme of things, you know, is this going to change the universe as we know it? Unlikely. But for me, as, you know, somebody who loves music, who makes music, who enjoys, buying and wearing the t-shirts of the bands that I love. To not only have t-shirts being printed, I mean anybody can, you can go to a printing place and get t-shirts printed, but to have a small New Zealand business who are really passionate about doing something that I really love and are doing it really, really well, to have them say, hey, we are keen to help you, and now my merchandise, my profile is on their website. My t-shirts are in their Facebook advertisements. For me, that's really cool. It's just a nice wee thing, It helps to sort of, it's just a little victory, It's a little victory, not one that I saw coming. Another part of that, what's really cool is, and I think I've got this right. They haven't spelt this all out to me, but I've tried to sort of connect the dots. As I say, Braden and Nina at Twisted Thread, they said in their email that they'd been thinking about doing this for a long time, which is really cool. And I think I must have me getting in touch with them must have sort of maybe been like the final straw, where they went, screw it, let's do it. And so now, because if you go to Twisted Thread and you hover over the band t-shirts icon, I think it is, one of the first things that pops up is Kiwi bands. And if you click on that, it takes you to a page where it says something along the lines of, hey, are you a Kiwi band? Are you an artist? Do you know someone who is? Get in touch with us. So it's not just me. Twisted Thread have now set themselves up so that in addition to doing all the officially licensed merch that they do, for Soundgarden and Pearl Jam and Megadeth and and everyone else that they do, they're also going to do it for Kiwi bands on demand. There's more details to it. It's super cool. So I'm doubly stoked about that as well. I don't doubt that if it hadn't been me, it would have been somebody else, or they would have just done it. They would have eventually one day gone, stuff it. We've been talking about this for ages. Let's just do it. And they would have done it. But as it happens, it seems that me getting in touch was sort of what kicked it off. It was the final straw. And so that's kind of cool. I'm quite chuffed about that. Just to have played that little part. Again, Braden and Nina, if I've gotten the details of that wrong, I apologize. As I say, I'm just sort of trying to connect the dots. So yeah, pretty stoked about that. It's just, as I say, just little victories, just little things sort of adding up, and who knows where it's going? Maybe nowhere. But I'm enjoying it. Looking forward to the tour. Yeah. I've written a new song, which I'm really stoked about. Not going to play it, and I'm probably not going to play any new songs here on YouTube for a while. I'm just sort of letting that sit. Mainly because, there's that whole AI thing, swooping in, copying everything that we're doing, learning from us, making the world a better, more wonderful place, one dystopian move at a time. But also, more specifically, I've recently come across a number of stories of musicians, not really famous musicians, but people who are they're active. They have a fan base, and they've put out a record or two or some songs, and then through a series of events, they've discovered that somebody has come along and gone, oh, I quite like that. And they've copied it, I guess. Copy the files, given the songs new names, maybe, new artwork, different artist name, and then stream them online as if they were their own. I thought, well, that's pretty dumb. That's not a kind of shenanery that I want to get caught up in if I can possibly help it. So I'm not going to take down the stuff that I've put up. I'm not going to do that. But I'm just not going to add to it, at least for a while. I'm just going to let that sort of mull around in my head and see what what I think about it. No, I mean, obviously I am not important enough, or whatever, to be a likely target, but it's the principle of the thing. So yeah, that's it. That is where things are at the moment. Once I have the CDs and I have some t-shirt samples, I'll do another video and go, hey, here they are. I wasn't lying. Yeah, but I don't have either of them yet, so I can't do that. So that's that. That's where things are at. Have a good week, and yeah, enjoy some music, listen to some music, play some music, get out and go to a show in a dingy bar. And otherwise, good night.